Look at the landscape assembling itself on your screen right now. You are watching raw data instantly organize into a high-end, complex visual. No human animator drew those shapes. The pacing of these sentences and the voice you are listening to were all constructed by an AI that studied a plain text course document and decided how best to explain it to you. To understand how a computer pulls that off, we need to look at the historical role of artificial intelligence. For many decades, AI functioned as a strict analyst. You gave it data, and it sorted it. Look at this flowchart. This is classic analytical AI, answering simple, binary questions. Is this email spam or not spam? Is this a photo of a cat or a dog? It processes existing information and places it into neat categorical buckets. Recently, the technology crossed a threshold. We stopped asking the machine, "What is this?" and started giving it a new command. Make something new. This incredible leap from basic classification to full generation makes the machine an active participant in producing original media. Think of a generative AI like an immensely dedicated art student. Before the student can paint anything, they have to spend years studying millions of existing artworks, reading vast libraries of text, and listening to countless hours of audio. A common assumption is that the system saves exact copies of all those web pages and images, and when you ask for something, it just cuts and pastes them together like a digital collage. Watch what actually happens in this diagram. Those original paintings dissolve. The AI discards the original files entirely. What it keeps is a web of mathematical nodes, the statistical patterns. It learns the underlying rules of how colors complement each other, or how shadows fall. As those pathways light up, you're seeing the system map out probabilities. It uses those learned statistical patterns to understand structural flow. It calculates how a logical sentence should be formulated, word by word, or how visual shapes typically combine in a natural landscape. When it built this video, it didn't retrieve a pre-recorded audio clip of my voice from a server. It used those internalized rules of flow to predict exactly how these words should sound when spoken aloud. A generative AI's output is shaped by its massive training diet, but because it builds strictly from learned probabilities instead of historical archives, the final product is a completely novel creation. Pulling brand new content out of that massive web of probabilities requires a specific three-step pipeline. We call this the generative triad. Step 1 is the engine. Different statistical models are trained to specialize in distinct patterns. You have text engines like ChatGPT, image models like Midjourney, and video models like NotebookLM. Step 2 is the interface you see here, the prompt. This is the human instruction. The prompt sets the boundaries, providing the specific parameters for what the AI needs to generate. The prompt acts as the ignition. It gives the engine a clear direction, triggering that vast network of statistical nodes to begin assembling data according to your specific instructions. Which brings us to step 3, the output. As these chaotic particles lock together into a single object on your screen, the system successfully synthesizes a brand new combination of media that has never existed before in human history. Generative AI is a reactive mathematical system, and it relies entirely on human intent to ignite its capabilities. This process extends far beyond the video you are watching right now. It is rapidly becoming the standard workflow across almost every design and media discipline. The AI acts as a collaborator that manages the heavy lifting of technical construction based on the patterns it has learned. In this environment, the primary barrier to creating high-end content is no longer knowing how to code an application, render a 3D model, or physically mix paints on a canvas. The machine handles those specialized execution steps. This places the focus on the user's ability to provide the visionary prompt, while the AI manages the millions of technical calculations needed to render the final result. If you had a generative tool that could build absolutely anything you described, with zero technical limits, what is the very first thing you'd ask it to make?